Hi everybody, and welcome to Tom Gruenwald Outdoors. Hey, we've got a special treat for you today. We're fishing on Wisconsin's Big Green Lake. The Big Green, deep and mean. At 237 feet, it's the deepest inland lake in the state. And we're with Larry Liu, who runs a corporate guide service out here. And this fishery is unbelievable. We've got really some nice lake trout going out here right now.
We've got some excellent lake trout going. They're averaging probably between 20 and 23 inches.
Nice fish.
Of course, they have to be 17, which is no problem, but there are also some extremely large trout in this lake. Every year, we'll hook up with a 15 to 20 pounder. Maybe today's the day.
And how deep are we fishing out here, Larry?
We'll be fishing in anywhere from 80 to 88 feet of water today. The trout right now are actually scattered anywhere from 24 feet out to 136, 140.
Okay.
But we've found a little thing on the bottom out there with some freshwater shrimp that seems to be keeping them hanging around, so we've been very successful out there.
Fantastic. And now I understand fishing out here that we're not allowed to use live bait. We have to use something different.
Actually, that law has changed. We're going and catching perch out here in the lake and actually using them as cut bait.
All right, well, that sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go give it a try. All right, well, we made it. So what's our strategy here this morning?
Okay, Tom, I drilled a series of holes here. One to fish out of, one for the locator.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is, you pretty much can stay on those holes. These fish travel to you. We don't have to punch several holes like we do for perch or bluegills.
Okay.
They're traveling this whole area with the freshwater shrimp and the perch and the small white bass around.
Okay.
So if we do get one area that you're not marking anything, then we'll re-drill and move over. But for the most part, there'll be fish coming through.
Okay, so work that lower foot or 2 feet off of the bottom and try to get the fish coming in.
That's where I would start. Don't be surprised if you don't see fish up 10, 12, 15 feet on your locator though. They'll work the whole column, but that's where you want to start out, is down there.
Okay, if we mark one up a little higher, come up to them and try to work them.
You betcha.
Okay, let's get started. I'm anxious. All right, well, let's see if we get one of mine rigged up here. So I've got a gold ball head. That's 1/8 ounce. It's got a glow eye on it, which I thought might help in the deeper water. Try to show me your trick here for rigging that up.
My little trick for rigging it, taking the perch and cutting the fillet and hopefully not cutting all the way through. There we go. I don't leave the tail or anything on like that. What I will do is cut it like so, just to kind of square it up, which allows it to drop a little more even when it falls back down.
Okay.
And then we'll take your jig head, run it through the meat side, about center, go a half a turn so we can push it over that bait holder.
Okay.
And then we turn it back after we get over the bait holder. And just kind of push it a little bit forward to hold it on over that bait holder. And then bring it through just so the barb is through the hide. Just like that, and that'll swim around down there just like...
Perfect.
Just beautiful.
Okay, let's do it. Well, Jeremy here is going to join us. He's Larry's son, and he spends a lot of time out on Big Green, so you know the lake pretty well too.
Well, everything I know I've learned from my father, so...
All right.
I'm still learning, which is the best part about fishing this lake, is you can fish it your whole life and you'll never know it completely.
Yeah.
You'll know a little, but not all.
Yeah, I call it the Big Green, deep and mean. That's how I always refer to it, but a lot of trophy potential, and it's a lot of fun out here, so.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, good luck to you, Jeremy. Thanks for coming out and joining us. Appreciate it.
No problem.
We're gonna go out and see if we can get some more fish, see if Jeremy can catch his limit right after this. Larry is, of course, helping me get all rigged up here with his special cut bait deal that he uses with the perch, but I just want to show you what I'm using here for gear. I've actually got, it's an HT Big Ice, 28-inch medium light rod. It's graphite. It's got a nice bend at the tip, so I got the sensitivity to feel when a fish bumps. Sometimes these lake trout can bump the bait lightly or they'll pick it up. And you don't feel them real easy. With the graphite, I have a little better chance of sensing those strikes. I'm fishing with 8-pound test monofilament, And we got a barrel swivel on here, and the reason I do that is to prevent line twist. When you're going down 80 or 100 feet of water like we are coming up and down, that jig can spin, your line can twist, makes a big mess, especially if you get these big fish and they're taking drag on you. And my favorite little reel, that little HT AccuCast, the bent spool so that that line is right in line with the stripper guide. And of course with this long neck, I can still reel this up even while I'm wearing the gloves. Nice sensitivity at the back end, plenty of backbone as you can see for fighting a big fish. And of course the drag is so important on these reels. When you catch a big fish like these lake trout and they're gonna take drag, you want a reel that's gonna be giving and be real forgiving with you with that lighter 8-pound test line, and this AccuCast reel does that. Now Larry's got this all set up for us ahead of time, so this is really nice. He actually drilled 2 holes, and one here is for my sonar unit, which means I get the transducer and the cord in a separate hole from where I'm jigging, and that helps out a little bit. Trying to fight these lake trout, they do a lot of moving around. Hopefully the lines wouldn't get tangled in the transducer cords that way. You know, people think about trout fishing, they think about lower light, twilight times or evening or cloudy days. Well, because this water is so deep, the sun actually helps. We got a lot of ice, a lot of snow. That sun penetration actually helps the fish see our baits a little bit better. So we'll drop this sonar and the transducer in this hole. Get that arm extended out, and we'll jig out of this hole. I can still see my bait. The transducer cone here is plenty wide in this deep water. That way, if I do catch a fish, I don't have to worry about it tangling up in the transducer cord as easily, which of course commonly happens. And these lake trout, a lot of times Larry was telling me, when you get up toward the hole, that last 10 feet, right up underneath the hole, they start to really go crazy and do a lot of moving. So I try to avoid having that problem with the transducer cord getting strapped up in your line and tangling up your fish.
The active fish, anybody can catch because they're active. The neutral fish, the ones that we're trying to find something a little different that'll trigger them to hit. Everything in here has a potential to grow big. Every year, as I said, we hook up with that 15, 20 pound plus fish out here, and most of the time we don't get him all the way up jigging. That's a whole different ball game.
Something's looking at me way up high here. There he is, got him. Yep, we got him. I marked a fish way up high. He was up off the bottom, and I came up with the jig and he stayed right on it. As soon as I started to move it, he hit me. He hit it hard. Wow. Look at that. Look at him taking line out. Look at that go. I'm fishing with a more of a medium light action rod here. And I'm using just an 8-pound line. So we're not getting too crazy here. We're trying to go a little light because it is a heavily pressured body of water. Getting a little ice on it. Boy, look at him go. It's not going to be easy, folks. It's going to take me a while to get this fish up, I'll tell you that. That's what it's all about, though. I just love fishing for trout through the ice. There's something special about it. So most of them don't run real large, but we get some pretty nice ones. I know they get some in the mid-20s and up near 30 inches, and some of those fish will weigh 15 or 20 pounds. I don't think this one's that big, but he's not making my job easy, let me tell you. Every time I start getting him up, look at him take the drag on that. There's not much you can do except just keep fighting him. He came up, Larry, he was way up high, and I saw this fish. Actually, this is about the depth I caught him now. He's back down below the depth I had him. I brought it up to him and he slammed it.
Super.
He stayed right on it too. He didn't want to give up. He should be getting tired now. It's been a few minutes.
Now, when they get below the ice here, you see him coming up on there. He gets close to below the ice. He's going to start going in circles on you.
Okay.
The tough part's going to be getting the head started.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Well, he's coming close because we're getting some holes bobbling there. Yeah. He's tiring a little now. I gained some line on him there. Yeah. Just like he's doing, just like you said, he's starting to do the circles. Yep.
Toughest part's going to be getting the head started.
Oh yeah, it's a nice fish.
Oh, that's a real nice fish.
Right onto the swivel there. I just about got his head in the hole now. There, I think I got the head coming in. Yep. There you go. Holy cow! Look at that!
There you go, my friend. There you go, my friend.
That's the way to start.
That's
Look
what
at
we're
that.
talking about.
Man, did you tell me when you said we're going to put me on him? Holy cow. And he was way up high, you know. We were talking about trying to fish the bottom, and I just saw this mark. You know, it was probably 20 feet down. I started working it, and he just came up and slammed it. Look at the size of that. You know, how many pounds do you think that fish is? You think it's 20?
He's 20 pounds, yeah.
Wow.
That's the one we're looking for.
Man, that's awesome. That is so awesome. That's with the first hit. Larry put us on a special fish today. I don't know, I think he's bleeding a little bit. We fought him pretty hard, brought him up from deep water, so it's probably going to be a keeper. I don't know, that fish, who knows, maybe that's one we want to put on the wall. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lake trout. Oh, that's what it's all about right here. Well, I had caught a couple of fish. I had some fish move in, and were real hard on the bait. They were coming up 10, 15 feet off the bottom, but they wouldn't hit, even though they're right on the bait. I was getting the shakes, thinking things are going good. Brought the bait up, and here that piece of perch that Larry had put on for me had kind of come loose and was balled up on the jig. I wasn't getting the correct jigging action out of it. It wasn't gliding the way it's supposed to. So we came back over here. He helped bring me back up, so I got that piece of meat back on the right way. Boy, it really seems to make a difference.
It makes all the difference. Look out, 15, 20 pounders again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the flutter motion and the way it swims down nice and easy with it like that. If it gets balled up, it just kind of flops side to side, and they really don't show a lot of interest in it. Seems to be a lot of neutral fish today, not real aggressive ones, but I think they're still going to turn on pretty good for us.
That's the thing, it can always change. When you're in the right area, at some point, you know, bang, and then it might be 2 or 3 fish within a half an hour. You never know.
Absolutely. The ideal thing about, especially lake trout fishing out here, is you don't have to be here at the crack of dawn. I mean, any given time of day you can come out and you're going to find fish that are going to be willing to take that bait if you're willing to put the time in it.
So, you know, you think about trout fishing, and a lot of people say, oh, big bright bluebird day like this, that's not going to be any good for fishing, but the fact of the matter is, it seems to be actually helpful.
It is, especially with snow in a lake. It does allow a little bit more light penetration down there. I've been as high up as 8, 9, even 10 feet and see those fish come shooting up, so you know they can see it down there.
And the 17 inches is the minimum
17
size to keep in mind.
Is a minimum keeping size here, yeah. Absolutely no doubt in my mind that there are 40-pound plus fish in this lake. That's the thrill of lake trout fishing. You see that mark down there. It might be 3 pounds or it might be 30 pounds. You just don't know what you're going to come up with. It's an astonishing fishery that we have here, and I would just, everybody should come out and give it a try because you'll get addicted.
She just popped this. I switched over to the ball jig.
Yep.
That went a little heavier and went with a green.
Oh yeah, he's staying down. I still haven't seen him, so that's a good sign. You come up pretty hard, pretty far, follow it up, or are you right on the bottom?
Oh, there she is down there. I see her. She's not too bad. She's legal. But,
oh yeah, there you go. You just gotta get her head turned. That's not a bad fish, Ken.
This looks like about, there we go. Probably about 22, 23.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's a nice hit.
Get him up there, all right. That's what we're trying to do. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice.
That's one for the grill right there.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And they just, they're so aggressive when they do hit. You got to work them, but boy, I tell you what, they fight.
You know, when you bring a fish like that up from 80 feet of water, it's like being in a rodeo.
I guess you just got to get back home and start baking some trout, huh?
Mama's going to be happy.
There's your fish. Nice job.
Cool.
Beautiful. If you get a couple of fish at the same time, then just the naturally competitive instincts of the fish start to work in your favor. If you can get 2 of them, and they're both kind of coming at the bait, and you tease them, you can usually get one to go. They want to grab that bait away from the other fish. But I'm just getting, you know, these singles coming up one at a time. I haven't had that opportunity yet, but there's certainly enough fish working around this area that could happen. And if it does, then I'm going to start getting the shakes again. Now that lure's on the bottom, you can see the line's not going down anymore. And of course, they can see that on my sonar. I'm just going to reel up and just lift it up off the bottom just a little bit. Anytime I see a mark up higher, I'll always bring my bait up to that level.
It's a phenomenal lake, but it can be awful frustrating when you can go from 1 foot to 237 feet and try and figure out what's in between.
I got some fish off of the bottom down there. I just got to get them to come up and pop my lure once. They're coming through plenty consistently. I'd say we're seeing a fish every 5 to 10 minutes, which is pretty good when you're fishing lake trout.
I got one on here, Tom.
Got one going, Larry? Need help? Small? Oh, there you go. Well, nothing wrong with that.
Heard from.
Pretty, pretty.
She's missing one eye here too.
Look at that.
Just beautiful.
That's
beautiful
pretty
little
markings.
fish. Send them home.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay, you broke the ice. You started.
Well,
Okay.
We're out of the box anyhow. So.
There you go. Let's go get some more. All right. Well, Larry just got one. He switched lures. He went to a chartreuse and orange bait just to do something a little different. Sometimes if you mix it up a little bit, that can make all the difference in the world. So let's go give it a shot. Sometimes just changing the bait or changing color can make a big difference. I just want to adjust the drag and make sure I'm not too tight or too loose. Again, it's just a little bit heavier action rod than I was using before, and this is a little bit longer, 32-inch rod. And I'm just doing that because I'm using a bigger lure now. And I like to balance my system. Still using a infinite anti-reverse reel, meaning that no matter where I stop this handle, it won't kick back. And that's important. Wherever I stop the bait, if I want to be at a specific depth, that reel locks in there. And then when a fish bites, I can set the hook and I don't have to worry about that handle kicking back and slipping where I might miss a fish. Yeah, with this rod too, you'll notice a little bit bigger guides. They don't ice up quite as easily. Helps on a day like this. Something way up high there, I wonder what that is. To guess it's probably a bait fish coming through up there. I'm still excited about those suspended marks after catching the big fish high. I keep thinking, just maybe get another big active one cruising up, way up high. I think it's gonna start turning on here in a little bit. That'll weigh.
It's giving her all he wants right now.
How's it feel?
Pretty good. There he is.
Oh, nice, that's nice, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Way to go, way to go. That's another one. See, he got his first one here just a little bit ago. This one, yeah, a little bit bigger.
Saw him come right up and just twitched it a little bit and boom, he nailed it. So, you know, like Ken said, I think the finessing, the lighter jigging is what's really working right now. None of that aggressive, hard ripping like in the early morning or late afternoon periods.
Another typical big green lake trout. Right around that, what, low 20-inch range. Those are just perfect eating size, lots of fun to fish for. And boy, not that far from home, there's a lot of people that live within short range of this lake, and this kind of fishing's available. It's terrific. Nice job.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I moved over to this other hole here because we were seeing some fish over this way. And I didn't take the time to drill a second hole next to it for the transducer cords. I had to move that up out of the way there. Got another one, Larry? Well, I hope so. Boy, they sure stay down. They don't. It's not something that's going to happen fast, is it? You can see him down there now. Get his head turned in the hole. There we come. There we go. All right. I don't know if that one's going to make 17 or not.
Oh yeah.
Think so?
Oh sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
18, 19-inch fish.
Beautiful. There you go. Just that's another typical big green lake trout. I tell you what, this is really fun. We're fishing down there in 80 to 90 feet of water, so you get a lot of fight out of them. They're real aggressive, and like you say, as soon as they get below the hole, they just kind of start going crazy. Look at that. They're so pretty. And that's probably a natural fish too there. We were just looking before, you see some of the stocked ones are a little lighter. There he is.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you so much, Larry. This has been just outstanding. I really appreciate everything. Hey, I tell you what, it's been just an outstanding day here on Big Green Lake. Larry, everything came through just as you promised. He said you're gonna run a lot of fish between about 17 and 22 inches. Occasionally we get a bigger one. You look at what we've got here, yeah, that's exactly it. We started out, our first one was what, about 17 and a half. Got a lot of them here in the 20 to 22 inch range, and then of course the big trophy, but what a fabulous day. Larry, I can't say thank you enough. This has just been great.
I was glad to have you guys out. Good time out here.
Fish were very active, very pretty. Look at that, all muscle. And we had fish coming through pretty much solid all day long. Had to work for them a little bit, but that's what fishing's all about. And again, if anybody wants to try catching some of these big green lake trout, I'd highly recommend calling Larry. He really knows his stuff. He put us right on top of the fish today. Great tips, knows exactly what to do. So it's a fabulous trip, highly recommended. And hey, I just want to say to everybody, remember, nothing beats ice fishing. Nothing.